Alright, here we go. This will be a live demonstration the way that I would present to a customer. Feel free to use the video, learn the demo, make it your own, make yourself comfortable. Very straightforward. So here we go. I always start at this screen here. I want them to see it's a fully open Android operating system. So I've got some miscellaneous apps that I've downloaded from the Play Store. They can get online. They can do everything. I talk about the IP65 rating, the sealed ports on the top, the sealed speakers, dirt proof, dust proof, water resistant, heat resistant, drop tested, all that good stuff, which leads right into the 2-year warranty on everything in the box to make them feel comfortable taking this tablet to the car, not have to worry about destroying it, dropping it, overheating it by in the engine bay while they're looking at wire diagrams or whatever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the application and I go over the front page here. So these are all your manufacturers. We do have some that are overseas here. So if you wanted to just customize this to how you want to see it based on the vehicles you're going to see, you could simply take something like, let's do Kia, touch and hold it, and then we'll drag it up into favorites. You can see the green one applied because we did add one there. We can also do Porsche, drag it up there. Now we've added 2. So they don't disappear off of the all manufacturers page, but you can see that they are added to the favorites. So there's our Kia and our Porsche. Now if you wanted to take something off of your favorites, for instance, let's take the Fiat off, and we can just drag it up to favorites and it will disappear. So it does make it nice and a little bit easier on the eyes in the favorites area. So we'll jump right into the demo vehicle, which is the top left. And what it's going to do is after you auto ID a vehicle, this is the next screen you'll see. The health report will go out, scan the car, bring back any codes that are in any of the modules on the vehicle. The system scan will scan the whole vehicle, but will only bring back the modules listed there. So no codes with that one, but it'll let you know all the available modules that you have access to. Then you have system selection, which is pretty self-explanatory, as you can see. You just simply go in there, select the module you want, and you'll be in the module. So we're going to do a health report just so you can kind of see what it is. And with the body shops being required to do a full system scan before repairs and post repair, we can show you how easily it is for us to do it with our platforms. So we've scanned the vehicle now. We've got quite a few codes that are in here, and we're going to hit the fault report here on the bottom right. What this is going to do is pop up a box. These you can touch and drop down. It's still interactive here. Or if they're going to, print this off or email it to an adjuster or email it to themselves for records to create on their server or whatever they're doing. At the bottom, you've got the report button. VIN number is going to auto-populate as long as it's auto-ID'd. Then they can plug in owner information, license plate, the technician, any remarks about the car, anything like that. We're simply going to skip it. And I talked to them about the vehicle diagnostic report up top, where they can put in their information and save all of it. And they can even customize that guy working on the car there to their own logo. Here we've got the vehicle, VIN number, mileage, the date and time of the scan and how we scanned it. And then we've got all the codes right here. So we do have the green one where the battery manager system tested fine with no codes. So what we'll do with this report to either print it or email it is save it on the bottom left here. And then the bottom right, the share button will come available. So any email program you've previously downloaded from the Play Store, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, anything like that, will pop up right here. If you have a wireless printer in the shop, that's been the third-party app's been downloaded, whether it's uh, Google Cloud Print or the Hammermill Wireless, which is a great app for all wireless printers. It will appear here too. So it's real simple to email this, real simple to print it, and it's, like I say, being required by body shops at this point, by insurance companies, before and after collision repairs. So we'll back up here, and we're going to go into the engine, and we're going to look at live data. So here's our list right here, and again, this is a demo, so it's just got some dummy data filled out, which they did a great job for us. Hit confirm over here after we've selected it all, and now you can see that we've got some in black, some in red, some switching, and the point is, if you look at the standard, you can see what is operation parameters, what it's supposed to be operating in. So you can watch the top one, the AC pressure is red because it's out of the 145 psi. Now it's at 81, it's black, it's within spec. So it makes it real easy for the technicians to identify where a data pit is going wrong. We're the only ones doing this, makes it nice and easy to catch something. Without having to, visually see it with your eyeballs at the exact right number. We're going to color code it. Now you can take these. We've got 5 pages. You see down at the bottom, 1 of 5 down here. You can simply slide over, page by page to get to what you want, or you can obviously customize the list at the previous screen. Now the graphing feature down here at the bottom is going to put 15 graphs up on the page. You still have your digital, but you still also have your graph there as well. So we're going to pull up the AC pressure, and you can see where it's topping out at about 500 psi and down to, it looks probably like 85, 80 psi as well. I always select one that has a digital value versus a simple on and off switch, because it shows the minimum and maximum parameters down here on the bottom right that we can set. So what we'll do is we'll set the maximum at 490, and we'll set the minimum at 0. Now when we do this, this is going to allow us to be alerted when it gets outside of that parameter. So we're going to confirm here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So it hit over the 490, we got alert, and it's going again. Here it comes again. I'll let it do one more time. There we go. So the reason that I do this is because if you're doing, like, for instance, a electric cooling fan on a GM product, they typically come on around the 200 degrees, 212, 222 area. So if you put an electric fan on there, you can set this maximum at 180 degrees for the engine coolant temp sensor, take the tablet, walk over to another car, start tearing it down, putting it together, whatever you need to do. When that car reaches 180 degrees, this scan tool will alert you that you need to go check that car. And they can walk over and verify that the coolant fan kicks on, everything works, we're not, getting lost in our work and it overheating or blowing a head gasket or who knows what else. This will save that from getting too involved in your work. So that is your live data. You can also, last thing is combine 4 at a time. So here I think of O2 sensors, or maybe variable valve timing solenoids, vehicle speed sensors, just so you can see them overlay each other. And maybe have an O2 sensor that's not switching as fast as the other bank, so it may be a little lazy, starting to cause issues with fuel trim. You could look at variable valve timing to see which bank may be laying down on you, in that aspect as well. So really good feature to have there. Now all this obviously can be recorded, reviewed, and gone back to. Down at the bottom you've got the record button that you can do all that with. So we'll jump back out of here, and we're going to touch on the actuation test. Now actuation test is going to be things that you are testing on the car. You're going to command it on or off, or open it or close it. for instance, an IAC motor, you can sweep it up so the engine RPMs react. This one is just a simple way to turn injectors off. Obviously, if we're on a live vehicle, we'd be able to look at engine RPMs and data as well. This just simply shows a test being completed. Now, special functions. Special functions are things that you are doing to the vehicle that's going to change it. So it's not a test that you're going to put back to regular operating. This is something you'll take care of. And what we're talking about here on the demo is doing a throttle relearn, or doing keep alive on a Ford, like the KAM, keep alive memory resetting, resetting any adaptive values. All that stuff will be here. This is a Ford diesel, so we've got the injector writing, so they require the serial number to be inputted, which we can actually take care of with our tool. So that is special functions, things that you're actually changing on the vehicle. We also have programming sections. So in the engine control module, this one actually has programming for a FICM, the fuel injection control module. So this is something that obviously different modules that you go into, body control module, instrument cluster, all that stuff is going to have the programming features and the special functions that will change with each manufacturer. So this is not going to be generic. Obviously, there'll be a lot more when you're live versus the demo here. So that kind of covers the vehicle itself and what you're getting into. We're going to hit new session down here, and this is where I talk about not forgetting to remember to move the VCI or the dongle or the connector to the car. So we give a 10-inch extension in all the kits when you buy the tool to put there, so that way it will hang down. Hopefully it'll hit your foot. Heaven forbid you forget it and it gets to the customer, maybe it'll hit their foot and they'll want to know what the cable is hanging down. The other thing we've done is when you do hit new session, you'll confirm it. It will tell you do not forget to retrieve from the vehicle, and it also has that loud noise as well. So we've got the 10-inch extension, the auditory, the visual. We also have the history, so you can look and see what your last successful hookup was, and you can then call Mrs. Jones or Mrs. Smith, or see if you can swing by and pick it up, or they can swing by. So obviously it's going to be the last vehicle, so that's another option for you. So we've done some fail safes to keep that safe. The next thing we move into is reset procedures. Now, we can't demonstrate these in a demo mode. If you are comfortable hooking to a car, you can hook to a car or let a customer hook to a car, and then they can look at some of these procedures. So this is where you'll go for quick resets on brakes. BMW's resetting or releasing Volvo electric rear brakes to push calipers in, automatic brake bleeding for GM vehicles, Mercedes-Benz resetting the pads, pad depth, oil life, SAS is steering angle sensor, battery reset / registration. A lot of Europeans, BMW, Mercedes, require that for the vehicle to actually to charge the new battery. Electric throttle relearn, GM, Volvos have those now. So TPMS, self-explanatory. DPF, diesel regens, is right there, and then IMMO is immobilization. So programming key fobs, keys, any theft deterrent stuff is going to be located there. And what this does is it basically bypasses the whole drill down procedure. The year, the make, model, then try and find the module that it's hidden in order to do whatever reset procedure you need. So this bypasses a lot of it, saves a lot of time. So again, you can't demo this section unless you're comfortable hooking to live vehicle or the customer is, because it requires the Bluetooth, and without power to the Bluetooth it won't do it. So that's your resets. Now, next thing we'll talk about is the updates. So updates we do like emails. So whenever an email comes in your inbox, it gets pushed to your cell phone. Whenever we get an update, we push it to the tablets. So we'll just log in real quick here. And what this is going to allow us to do is see if there are any upgrade softwares. It actually says in the top right, 0 upgradable software, and there's absolutely nothing that will be selected. So if we did have an update, the number would appear up here as to how many updates we have. All of the manufacturers will list here, and it will automatically select the ones that need to be done. You just simply hit the upgrade button down there, and it will automatically update those vehicles. So after that, I move right into the diagnostic feedback. This holds 20 of your most recent vehicles. And what this is my favorite part of the whole tool, because the customer can actually interact with our engineers. So one example of what you would use this for is, let's say this Honda right here. Let's say I programmed a 2008 Honda Civic key 2 weeks ago. I've updated my tool, Honda got updated, 2008 Honda Civic comes back in, needs the key programmed. I go into Honda and it will not program the key for whatever reason. You can come to feedback, check that box, hit submit, and then right here you would just say will not program 2008 Honda Civic key. It did work 2 weeks ago, so we're just going to put test so the engineers do not waste time on this, and it will submit it. Now that will go off to them and it will be dispatched. So as you submit these, you can fill it up, and you can submit stuff that you're just wanting extra test for, or extra data PIDs, anything you want on the car. You can submit it to our engineers, and they can find out if it's something they can have for you or something that they can't. So the orange is something that is pending, waiting to be read, waiting to be dispatched. Once it turns blue, that means it is in process. They are looking for it and trying to find an answer. So these are some that we have sent off in the past, and we're waiting for them to close it out. So in between 72 hours and 90 days, they will have these issues fixed. Now, obviously, if it's just a glitch in the software from a couple weeks or something like that, it'll be fixed a lot faster. But if it's something we're requesting, it may take some time. So we'll see what they do. But as you submit it, you can follow the history. And this is one where I've got my remarks. I'm waiting to see what they come up, the analyst or solution, and then it'll tell me what to do. So we will have more information coming forward and make sure that this is all taken care of. So we will keep you all posted on everything that we have going on in here. Again, we're the only ones that submitting this stuff, so you can actually build the tool the way you want it around different vehicles. Now, applications, these are things that you can add on to the tool itself. So we do have a 4-channel lab scope that's right here as oscilloscope. We have the sensor box, we have the battery box, and we have a video scope. So all these are modules that can be added on to the tool to expand it, to grow with your diagnostic as your skill level increases. And just real quick, we'll pull it up so you can kind of look at what it looks like. Of course, we don't have one connected, but you can still see the screen. You can pull the settings off the right by hitting the gear down here at the bottom and blow it up a little bit. And then you can obviously change all of your stuff here for channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. You can turn them off by simply hitting the button. Turn them back on. So you can kind of get a grip. It does have an auto find, so it will auto set up depending on the voltage you're looking at. Very nice scope. We're going to go out of here, and I want to show you the sensor. This is an amazing add-on. So you do have some predefined waveforms that you can work with here, and down here at the bottom you got the waveform. You touch it, and now you've got some of the predetermined. So like a vehicle speed sensor, you know what type of speed sensor you have will depend on your waveform. And you can actually, you know, select these and it'll put it on there. Now you can modify this, you can change it to suit your needs for that specific vehicle. But my favorite feature of all is the hand painted waveform up here at the top. You can actually take this and just drag the line down with your hand and make whatever kind of pattern you want. And the cool thing about this is you can actually play this into the harness. So you would disconnect like a mass airflow sensor, plug into the harness side of it. You can put this waveform and hit play down here. Now while it's playing this in loop, you can actually come back over here by hitting the multifunction window, come back into your diagnostic system, and you could be over here looking at your live data. So if you're looking at live data on your mass airflow and it is playing this waveform on the live data side, you have just eliminated all of the wiring and the module and everything else, because you're down to just the sensor and what the sensor is reading, because it's translated your signal. So, you know, you can put good waveforms, you can create bad ones just to make sure things are working. It eliminates a lot of resistance testing, a lot of ECM pinout testing, things like that to verify it's good. So I love the sensor box. Great tool. Now let's go back to applications. The battery will test in the car or out of the car. If it's in the car, it'll also give you starting and charging as well. So a really cool little add-on. Then you got the video scope, which is going to be attached with a USB. It's got a 7.5 millimeter head on it, so you could get down in spark plug tubes, look at all that stuff. Now the multimeter goes with the sensor box, so it'll work that way. The ignition down here will go with the oscilloscope, so it's got all your coilover plug stuff in order to pull that up. So you've got your profile here. This is where you get into my reports right here in the middle of the screen. This is where you can go back into these diagnostic reports. You can select one and share it from here. So past reports that you need to pull back up, or if you just want to look at them, you can just touch them and see exactly what it is and all the codes that were in there at the time. So that's a quick, easy way in the tool to find those reports. And then to do the settings for the printing, you'll go to settings and then print information. So right here they can save all that information. If you touch the logo, you can take a photo, choose one out of the tool, or go online and choose one, anything like that, so that way they can personalize that and it will save it for the top of the report. So I hope that this demo has helped you out. This is the way I kind of approach it with the customers, to give them an overview of our tool and some of my favorite features. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll be more than glad to do any other videos with any other topics for you. Thank you for your time.